Now that you've learned about the agencies that protect our safety in the manufacturing workforce, let's move into safety in the workforce and talk about the employer's responsibility and your responsibility as an employee. As we look at the employer's responsibility, their responsibility is really to value your health and safety and provide controls for that. So there are panic buttons, there are alarms on forklifts, exhaust fans, and the emergency stop like you can see over here in the corner. Even if you are just walking through a facility, make sure that you're aware of where these safety controls are, but it is the employer's responsibility to make sure they provide those to you. The safety and orientation training is an opportunity that the employer has to really give you the process for which they want you to implement safety and the rigor for which OSHA provides that you must comply with. Also, they'll provide signs where so you can understand where you wear personal protective equipment and get a great understanding of the pieces that you have to make sure you're safe. The employer also shows locations of first aid, fire extinguishers, and provides safety committees and representatives. So if you have an opportunity to serve on one of those committees and an interest in safety, this would be a neat chance for you to step up into the business world. The employer also conducts safety inspections. They do a hazardous analysis. Then from that hazardous analysis, they take that and they make corrective actions within their facility so that they can make sure that you are protected and that safety is a top priority. They also provide environmental inspections for ground, water, and air and validate that there are safe working conditions. And those are regulated through the EPA. It is the employee's responsibility. So let's shift gears here. What are you responsible for? You must report all workplace accidents. Now, while sometimes those seem minor and minute, the long-term implications of accidents can resonate for years to come. So it's essential that you report those and you understand the process for which to report, which you will get trained on. It is always your responsibility to wear all personal protective equipment, PPEs for short. These can consist of goggles, which protect your eyes, headphones and earplugs, which protect your ears. And many of you may say, I'm not worried about my ears and safety of those, but the importance is that we want you to be able to hear for years to come. Many of you have probably been at family gatherings where there have been older relatives who lack the ability to hear. And while that seems irrelevant at this point in your life, it will become a factor later on. Also, hard hats and gloves, steel-toed boots, and respirators are all PPEs that your employer will provide to you and explain to you when and where to wear. It is also the employee's responsibility to first be trained on cleanup, but then also to clean up hazardous messes. But you need to understand too the job description because there may be other people who are responsible for that. And then there are also safety showers. Become aware of the equipment that is within your facility or any facility that you're touring. It is also your responsibility for fire safety prevention. There are good practices that you can implement, and most of those are common sense, but again, you'll be trained on those pieces and know the classes of fire, A, B, C, D, and K. If you would like to Google those and learn more about those, that's a great way to learn more about fire safety or fire classes. And also know how to use a fire extinguisher. You know YouTube is a fantastic place to watch this. Just make sure you're watching productive ones. There's also electrical safety. Make sure that you obey place cards and follow the workplace procedures. Obviously, this picture is leading you into the concept that that's a horrible idea. But as you use hand and power tools, make sure that you use safety precautions with them. Common sense will protect you for a long time. There are also ergonomics. Ergonomics is a science of design and arranging things that people use. While you're young and your back is strong, some things seem really, really easy. But over time, wear and tear can tear on your body and actually have you so that you're not able to do the recreational activities that you'd like to do after work. So ergonomics is extremely important in this process. Then there are lockout tagout experiences. This is where equipment shut down for maintenance, no energy source is given to the machine, and the machine cannot be started. And you have to obtain the supervisor's permission to restart. That's in the process of equipment maintenance. But then also there's a lockout tagout procedure where if you don't have your hands in the right place, the equipment will not operate. This truly is because people have lost digits or limbs in the process of utilizing manufacturing equipment. So lockout tagout is a key critical piece that you need to be trained on so that you know that you have both hands on a piece of equipment and you make sure that all of your digits and your extremities are protected. Safety procedures also that we'll talk about are SDS sheets. We have talked about ergonomics and we've talked about lockout tagout. Lockout tagout also prevents machines from restarting. It isolates it from the power source and prevents accidental startups. So what this means is if you have your hands in a machine, it does not allow the machine to work properly until your hands are in the correct location. So an employee walking in can't just start a piece of equipment and cause danger to you. It can only be restarted by the person who shut it down too. There are also these lockout tagout tags that are critically important. Lockout tagout at industry has really impacted the safety of businesses and increased the productivity of workers because they are on the job versus being injured. We talked about ergonomics. There are some items that have been redesigned that include lighting, tools, workstations, and movements. So those are some pieces that you could look into on ergonomics. This is our presentation for today. Your assignment related to these contents are the assignment number 2, health and safety shop inspection. You have the opportunity to inspect either a shop in the school or a shop of your own at home and follow through on this assignment. I hope you learned a lot about safety of the employer's role as well as your role.